Welcome everyone to the Machine Room Podcast. I am your host, Nostradamus, and of course, this wouldn't be the Machine Room Podcast without your real host. Once again, I'm just here. I'm like the Ed McMahon to her Johnny Carson. Hammer
Hi-yo.
Venus, aka Rachel. What's good? Oh, shit, okay, everybody, calm down.
They're excited.
Calm down. Shush.
Cayente way.
Jesus Christ, I swear, going in public with you is fucking... I'm done.
Insane.
I'm done. You're going to Walmart by yourself. I'm never joining you again.
Oh, damn.
It's over.
I just watched the new Chris Rock special again, but this time with my mom, and you can tell that they edited it. Like, they cut some of the stuff that he, like, fucked up on, and then, like, retold the joke.
Did they? Because I watched it.
Yeah.
I watched it again the day after because I didn't watch it in the beginning, and they still kept the part where he was like, you know, she got mad at me because he wasn't nominated for Emancipation. I fucked up.
Yeah, that's
concussion.
Yeah, they cut that out.
Oh, so they re-edited it after that then.
Yeah, and, like, they had to have cut some other stuff because it was so much shorter. But then again, when it was live, they had that live show with all the comedians and stuff.
Right.
For like 30 minutes, and that's not on there right now.
Like anywhere? I wonder about that.
It's not at the end of the comedy special like it was when it was live.
Well, yeah, I wouldn't expect it to be part of the end of the comedy special, but I expect it to be like a selection that I could, like, you know, get somewhere else.
I didn't look to see if it was available. I hope it's available because it was really funny.
Well, in case you people are like totally lost what we're talking about, last week Chris Rock had a comedy special, and it was the first ever live event on Netflix. So that was a big feat. And of course, and who better to do it than someone who is like a king of freaking, you know, doing comedy specials, Chris Rock.
Yep.
And this one was very like anticipated because everybody wanted to hear Chris Rock talk about the event that happened last year at the Oscars. And,
with Suge Smith.
It was Suge Smith, yes. That's literally why I watched too. And I remember I was texting you. I was like, I'm just here for his remark about the Will Smith incident. And you told me, oh, he kind of touched upon it like a little bit. I was like, oh, no way it's going to be like that. And then at the end, he did the bit. But when I watched it again, it was a nice little, like, it was a nice lead up because he kept mentioning like rapper. He was like, but I don't want no trouble with any other rapper.
Yeah. You know? He said it like, he said it once near the beginning, and like everybody's like, is he gonna do it? And then he just goes back into his other jokes. Mm-hmm. And then he says the same joke again near the end, and then he just goes off on Will Smith and Jada Pinkett Smith. Just like, I mean, the whole show, the whole comedy special, it's like him taking his gloves off. Like, he didn't give a shit. It was fucking awesome.
No, yeah. He was building up for this. But it's crazy because then the remarks afterwards is people not even on his camp. Like, there's people that are not on his camp. They're saying like, oh, you know, he's... What were some of the freaking remarks? Some people saying that, you know, Jada didn't really fire anything up. This was all on him. A lot of people not supporting Chris Rock after some video of him sitting around table with Louis C.K. and Ricky Gervais and Jerry Seinfeld joking about saying the N-word.
Yeah, that's actually really funny. It was it was like on HBO or one of the movie networks. It's like a maybe 45 minute to hour special, and it's just them talking. And Chris Rock brings it up how Louis C.K. is like the only white comedian that could use the N-word. And they just talked about when and where to use it. They didn't make fun of black people or anything like that, like people are saying on the internet. They obviously haven't watched it.
Well, it's a touchy subject because the black community would be like, Chris Rock shouldn't let anybody say the N-word. First of all, Louis C.K. is half Mexican, half white. Yeah. Second of all, Louis C.K. and Chris Rock are best friends.
Yep.
All right, bestest of friends. So in other words, if that's the case, then people should be on my case for saying the N word, and that Randy lets me say the N word. Lets all of us
Yeah.
say the N word. But this is the thing, and I'm not. Look, I understand the N word. I understand the importance of the N word. I also became aware of when and who to say it to.
Yep.
I probably stated this. I don't know if I stated it in this show, but I've stated it before and stuff like that. When I was in college one time, I was real cool with someone. We worked in the same mail room, and from me growing up in Chicago in the hood, and around everybody, the word is just thrown like regularly. Till this day, it's just thrown regularly. We're not very touchy
Yeah.
about it here. Here, we're not very touchy about it. We're touchy about it how you use it. If I go up to
Yeah.
somebody like really pissed and I'm like, you fucking, and I say the N word, then yeah, that's how you do it. But if I'm like going up to like a friend or a homeboy that I know, is like, what up, my, that's different, or this,
Yeah.
or us at work where we say like jokingly matter, everybody, every race, and it don't matter. We say, okay, of course, yes, there's time when there was like this Italian dude, and he was like, yeah, I'm here with these, and then we all went like, yo, like all the people of color went to him like, yo, what the fuck, like, you can't be saying it like that. But that's the thing, like, I grew up in that kind of sense, so I thought this guy was real cool. So one time I saw him in the like passing by, and he was like, yo, what up? I was like, what up, Mike? And when I turned around, he was being held back, and I was like, yo, what happened? So later I found out, it's like, hey man, you can't be saying that, blah blah blah. And I felt truly, I felt awful. I went up to him, I talked to him, I was like, dude, I meant no disrespect. It's just like, back at home, that's how I talk to my friends about it. My best friend is freaking black, and that's how we talk about it. I never saw it any other way. So he opened my eyes to like, okay, I gotta be sure that I'm cool with you before I
Yeah.
even use that around you. And that's how it's always been ever since. And he accepted my apology. He understood. It's different like that. And I understand, like in Chicago, this is how it is. If I go somewhere else, it's different. I see like people are really touchy about that thing. So when Chris Rock is there in that circle joking about it with his friends, I understand it, because it's like, this is just him and his friends just joking and blah blah blah.
Yeah.
They're not doing anything bad or saying it to anybody else, but people are just like, oh, Chris Rock is helping the white community with this, just joking about it. It's like, it's not even that, dude. It's like him just there chilling with his boys, joking. It's nothing serious, And then people get mad respect to Jerry Seinfeld for not saying it, and there's respect to him, There's respect to him. He doesn't have to
Yeah.
say it. He didn't come from that, but you could tell Louis C.K. came from that kind of neighborhood or something like that, and being best friend with Chris Rock. And I'm even touchy about it, like saying it like in my own streams and everything else and stuff, because now it's different. Like I feel like it's bad for me to say it, but from everybody who watches our videos and everything like that, nobody's offended by me saying it or anything like that, because they understand we're all joking about it. I'm using it with friends,
Yeah.
back and forth. It's just how it is. So there's a community that's not behind Chris Rock, because he was like, oh, this guy's like willy-nilly using the N-word around his white friends.
Oh my god. It's really funny because like, if you remember back, like when the Chappelle Show came out and was really big, everybody was saying it. It was insane, and nobody cared. It was like really fun, and it wasn't all awkward, and people weren't embarrassed. I mean, they weren't like using like the hard ER like they do in the
See,
South because they're
that's the
racist as
difference.
shit. Yeah, it's a
that's
huge
the
difference.
big difference. No one over here is saying it with the ER. That's not what we say.
No, it's
Nobody says it with the ER.
no, and if you do, you're gonna get your ass beat.
Exactly.
But,
And
like-
I know people. Like I said, like the Italian fucking coworker, that motherfucker said it with the ER, and he meant it.
Ooh, that's not
And
good.
every time he does that, we're like, what the fuck? Yo, dude, calm the fuck down. It's like, what the fuck? Blah, 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 blah. It's all good, man. That guy showed up today he came in the office looking like Jack Nicholson from Chinatown with that tape around his nose.
The fuck?
And we're all like, what the fuck? And, the motherfucker has a history of, so we're thinking like it's catching up to him or some shit. I don't know.
Oh shit.
That's a different story, but I'm just saying, like,
Yeah.
as for example, that's somebody who uses it with the ER. He means it, and we're always like, yo, you need to shut the fuck up and calm the fuck down because you're racist. Like, I'm not fucking racist. Blah, 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 blah.
No, that's another word, and that's not good. And that's not what people are saying. But and there was like everybody back in the day used to know that it was two different words. And then when all this like woke outrage came, 2018, something like that, it was like, no, now it's bad again. And like when I worked at Best Buy in West Hollywood, everybody was saying it. It was like the customers were saying it, the employees were saying it.
Hmm.
It was everywhere. It was just part of everybody's vocabulary. And then it just like one day everybody just stopped and it was now it's a bad word. I'm like, when did I don't know. I
Well,
can
that's
see
yeah.
like, the negative connotation and stuff like that, and I can't even fathom what that feels like. But that's not what people are saying.
We're not here trying to like defend the word and say like, oh, you should go out saying it willy nilly.
No.
I already stated like there's some people who can't say it, but if it's like understood in your circle of friends, that is like I can understand if it's I can understand especially if it's just like a circle of just all white friends saying it like crazy. I can understand how people be like, oh yo, but in this world that we live in, we're all a spectrum of cultures. You
Yeah.
know, you're white and you got people of color, and in that spectrum, it's used around like a brotherly thing. You know, like just um a social kind of word. But there's people out there who use it in a different sense. I don't know.
Yeah.
It's a gray area. You know, I'm trying to say like we shouldn't be out there saying it like crazy, but I'm just saying like you shouldn't be out there and going against people who, especially if they're like people of color and have no problem with the other person and using it back and forth with them. It's like, like I said, I just use us for an example. You have Puerto Rican, Mexican, a black guy, and we all did a whole bunch of videos where we're just throwing the N words like crazy.
Yeah.
But nobody here is like fucking. When I did the Dragon Ball Broly, and we had LP say the N word, I bleeped it. Okay,
Really.
I bleeped it. It's like in the beginning because I bleeped it because he didn't say with the A at the end. He said it with the ER.
Oh.
Yes, and that's why I bleeped it. But I bleeped it because he said it like that, and also to like be safe. But it was in the form of the comedy because Frieza's character is racist.
Yeah.
You understand? And he calls them monkeys in Dragon Ball.
All the time.
Exactly. So we thought it would be really funny if he went there and was like, what up? And he said the N word with a hard R. And that's why you hear Randy in the back screaming like someone in the background. Like, what the fuck did he say? So it's part of the comedy.
Yeah.
But to be safe, I bleeped it out so it could be even more part of the comedy. It's like, oh, this is something that he shouldn't have said.
Yeah.
You know what I'm saying? So I don't know. It's touchy. But let's all remember that DMX once performed and had everybody in the crowd saying the N word, and they were all mostly white people.
Yep.
And he was like, come on, blah, blah, blah. And then he'd be like this, and then they'll be like, they say it, and he's like, hell yeah. There was a time where people they just had fun,
Yeah.
So.
It's one of those things too, like you have to know your audience. Like you couldn't go over to like somebody's parents' house and start saying it. Like
No, definitely don't do that.
no. But
Don't
like
do
if
that.
you're hanging out with like a bunch of different people and like they were cool with you and like people just said it and it was never negative or to be harmful.
Let's use, like you said, your work, a Best Buy. The best example is the movie 40-Year-Old Version. Remember when Homeboy was
Yeah.
beefing with the Middle Eastern dude?
Exactly.
What happened at the end of that conversation? They both were cool as fuck.
Yeah,
You
nothing
see?
happened from that.
Nothing happened, dude. Like, we gotta stop being so fucking hard and sensitive about everything. We gotta be like cool and jokes is jokes, but understand when it's not a joke. As I
Yeah.
use for example, that dude when he said it with the ER, we felt it. We were like, yo, dude, you need to calm the fuck down. That's not cool.
No, it's not. And like, I always love when somebody says it like that, the hard ER, and they meant it like that. And like people jump on them. They're like, well, this is America. We have freedom of speech. It's
Mm-mm.
like, yeah, you have freedom of speech, but some things you say have consequences.
Yeah. I remember one time we were at work and someone said something about I think someone just said something pork chop, and then people like, what the fuck you say? Of course, we didn't take any like real offense to it. We were joking around, but it was just like a funny moment to like respond to that.
Right. That is funny.
It's just it's funny stuff. So yeah, you got people who are against them because of that and some other stuff. I don't know. This is how it is, and the internet just opened more of that world that you get to see the division and everything, and we saw it evidently heavy in fucking 2020. It's just the division of shit is just very more apparent in
What's
this
really
world.
funny about that is like the whole point of the special. The special is even called selective outrage, and he's talking about people like that.
Mm-hmm.
And they're now doing that to him about this new special, so they're just proving him right.
Yeah. Like, we got Danny in the building. Thank you, Danny, for being in the freaking chat.
Yes.
He said that Louis C.K. and Patrice O'Neal would throw slurs at each other, but they're friends in comedy. Exactly.
Yeah.
That's what you do. That's what you do. I have at work. I have this dude. He's white, and I always throw like racist stuff at him and shit. Oh, because you're white, you can do this. Oh, but use your white privilege for this, whatever and shit. Like, then shut your white ass up and whatever. And he just laughs like, God, dude, like, shut up. Like he understands we're just joking.
Right.
It's
Exactly.
it's nothing serious, guys. Like, you could be best friends and throw. It's just comedy.
I've gotten that, Hang on
Oh,
just a second.
answer that phone call. It could be a lucky number. You could have won a lot. Turn your radio down. Turn your radio down. You can be the big winner of this 50 million jackpot. Or that's how I wish a freaking scam likely phone call would be when I answer it up. I'm like, what? And then they're like, yes, all you gotta do is give us your social security number. And I'm like, fuck off. I ain't gonna do shit. The way I said fuck off reminded me of Robin Williams stand up where he was like, fuck off. He was explaining golf. That was hilarious. Oh my god. That stand up special, like, if I watch it today, it'll still be hilarious as hell. RIP to a great Robin Williams. If you're just joining us, I'm killing time as Rachel is getting a major phone call or an alarm to do something. I don't know. We just heard something. Maybe we'll never hear from her again. Maybe the FBI have raided her place because they finally found out that she has been taking money from the rich and giving it to the poor and gave me not one bit of money. All I ask for is some money. If you're a hacker, hack things and give it to the needy, i.e., me. Please give me money. That's all I ask for. Let's hack Bill Gates. Let's hack Elon Musk. And let's give all that money to the poor. That's all I'm asking. You think a couple million would hurt them? No. They'll understand. I mean, they'll probably not even notice it. Really, how much money do these people really have? Let's see. Bill Gates' net worth is 105.2 billion. Nobody needs 105.2 billion.
I do.
Yeah, we do. We definitely do. I'm not gonna say no to it at all. I would never say no to it. But in reality, what do you like? If this is your net worth right now, why would you need more money? There's a lot of noise coming from your side, girl.
Oh, you're like cutting out.
There's a lot of noise coming from your side.
Oh, really?
Yeah, like you sound like you're in a wind tunnel.
Is that better?
Nah, I still hear that wind tunnel, girl. You need to make it over to Toon World already. You gotta make it over to Toon World.
How about now?
It's that's a little bit better. Yeah, that's better.
Okay.
Yeah.
All
We're
right.
good. We're good now. We're good. You were like
Um,
in the middle of a hurricane. You were right in the middle of a hurricane.
it's funny because we've talked about doing like if you watch people on YouTube or some podcasts and stuff like that, they'll have sponsors, and it's usually like one. If it's like Joe Rogan, he'll do like 10 in a row.
Yeah, he needs all
But
the money.
we we get offers for those all the time, and we always say no. And it's out of respect to the listeners because I know how infuriating that is when you're watching something or listening to something and they have sponsorship. But if we had like a multi-million-dollar bill, like fucking what's his name on XM Radio? Oh yeah, I'd be
Howard
the
Stern.
biggest Howard Stern, yeah. If we got like a deal like Howard Stern, like, yeah,
the,
I'd be
the
out of here.
the thing with these hey, get you know get some sponsors on your Twitch stream or whatever. It's like stuff like I really wouldn't be plugging, you know?
Yeah,
Like if I'm really like a fucking like a whore, then yeah, I'll be like going at it. It's like, hey, you know what else? They would like to thank our sponsor for whatever. And it's like some game that I wouldn't be playing on mobile, and they say like you do this and then you have to also get people to use your link. I don't know, man. It's like if you really want to get it, then I guess just take everything and try to, and then maybe that'll lead to, fucking actual things you want to, endorse and sponsor.
yeah,
But, I don't know. Why am I going to try to do something? I guess for money I should, but if I'm not passionate about it, then why would I even go behind it? That's how I
yeah.
see it.
And like the ones that we get are like that one of those food subscriptions where they send you meals every day, fresh food or something. I don't know the name.
Something
And
like
then
that.
another one is like it's always like mobile apps.
Yeah.
Like I don't do any mobile app gaming. I'm hoping that there's gonna be a new Doom mobile app. I want to play that, but for the most part, I don't do anything like that.
Speaking of something like Doom, do you know of this game that's on the Game Pass called Atomic Heart?
No, never heard of it.
It's brand new. It says right here, and hold on, it's of course it's on Steam as well, cause everything. Hold on, let me make a fake ass date just to see the fucking content. In a mad and sublime utopian world, take part in explosive encounters, adapt your fighting style to each opponent, use your environment, and upgrade your equipment to fulfill your mission. If you want to reach the truth, you'll have to pay in blood. Whatever. Basically, it looks like a mashup of Wolfenstein and Bioshock.
Ooh, I love Wolfenstein.
Yeah. So especially Bioshock, the last one, the third one, whatever. So it looks really cool. It's a third person shooter, and I've been meaning to play it. I haven't yet, but yeah, it's on the Game Pass right now, and I think you probably would dig it.
Is there like multiplayer?
No, I think this is just this is just a single player thing.
Okay.
Like I said, like Wolfenstein. So, yeah.
There you go.
There you go. You see how I plugged that? Like if someone was like, go ahead and fucking plug Atomic Heart and we'll give you whatever and use this link and shit, like I'll do that. It's like right now, hey yo, this is the Machine Room Podcast. You know what Machine Room Podcast love? Fucking games. Especially games where there's never not enough ammo. So if you use this link at blah 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 whatever / Machine Room or Real Machine Room, then you could get more ammo for this game, Atomic Heart. Right now available on Steam and Game Pass. You see how we just did that? And I was passionate about it right there. Me and her just went 50-50 on the fucking sponsorship money.
I think it would just have to be something that we care about or, are interested in. But for the most part, it's just a bunch of crap, and I'm not going to do that.
It's just booty. Booty shit that we don't give a fuck about.
Yeah. Straight up booty.
Straight up booty. I'm not gonna sell myself yet.
There's so many videos that I watch on YouTube, and you're all into it, and then they do like a 5-minute commercial. You're like, it just takes you out of it.
But that's something like, look, there was a time when you can just watch YouTube videos and you wouldn't have to worry about an ad break in the middle.
Nope.
Remember, they would just be the ads would just be on the side or underneath, or it'll pop up right there, and you could close it on the screen. Now I'm forced sometimes to watch something, or you have to watch at least like 30 seconds of it before you can skip it.
Yep.
And let me tell you something. When I'm watching a video and you put a fucking 5-minute video in the middle of like ad, which is really a video about like, hey man, you want to learn how to make more money? I got these easy steps. I'm gonna tell you right now. And then they just drag it out and never tell you how to make this money.
I was watching YouTube on. I have an Android TV box. It's like a little thing you just plug into your TV with the remote.
Yeah.
And I was watching YouTube on there, and it was the first and only time I've ever seen it. But they would play ads in the middle of videos, and they were music videos, like full 4 to 5 minute music videos of like country bands and stuff.
Yup.
And I think I said something on Twitter about it. I was so fucking mad.
That's all it is now. And that's that they do that because they want you to pay for their premium.
Yeah, and it's getting really bad. Like, if you're watching on your phone, the ad will be at the top, and then at the bottom will be like a huge picture for whatever that they're selling.
Mm-hmm.
And usually there's a little X near the top right, and you can close that so you can like read comments or look for a new video or whatever while the ad is playing. But the other night, the X stopped working.
Ooh,
So like
you were stuck?
you were just stuck watching the ad.
Ooh, ouch, torture. See, that's why at that point I just be like, I'll just watch it on my fucking computer.
Yeah.
You know, it's just, and I don't want to do like I did that when it was free. Hey, get this month free, or it was like 3 months free, or some shit. It was free, right? And I tried it out. I was like, fuck it, I'll try it out. I remember I did that. Yeah, when I did that, it was so I could watch the Cobra Kai series, because remember it was a YouTube exclusive.
Yeah.
And I did it just to watch that, and it was the first season. And that's it. I never did it again. Or I think I did, whatever. But when it was free, I'd do it. And yeah, it's great. But I'm not at the point where I'm gonna be like, I'm gonna pay for this just so I don't deal with ads. When most like when I watch a video on YouTube, I'll deal with it. You know, I'll just skip it and shit like that. I'm not watching a whole fucking series or whatnot. But if I'm doing something like longer and whatnot, or really want to invest on a lot of time on YouTube, I'm on my computer. And guess what? My computer has ad blocker. So fuck you, YouTube.
They got me. Like, I was getting so mad about the ads and the commercials because they were just there's way too many. They'll play 2 of them before they ever start your video. And I finally caved in and I went to see how to pay for their premium, and it was like $14 or something. I'm like, I already pay for Spotify. Why do I need this? Just you can just watch it on a laptop with ad blocker and you're done.
Mm-hmm. With that being said, though, we're hypocrites, and if you don't want to deal with ads watching this right here, then please subscribe to the Machine Room Podcast. It's just $4.99, so it's not like we're really taking that much from your bank. And that also goes for my Twitch stream, Nostradamus. I'm sorry, if you're stuck watching an ad in the middle of us watching a movie, but I gotta get some money. You see, YouTube's not giving me money when I'm watching their videos and some ad comes in, so that that affects us. But if we're making a video on YouTube, and if you're watching this on YouTube right now and an ad comes up, I'm sorry, man. We trying to get some ducats too. So it's all about, what side of the fence you're on. Right now we're on the side like, hey, we don't want to pay, but we want you to pay us.
One thing that I like is like Twitch that we're on live right now, and like Spotify. They're all about free speech and stuff like that, and you can say so many things. But YouTube is getting so uptight with swearing and some like with trigger words and things like that they beep them out of videos, and then they cut them out of the captions too. So like YouTube just has gotten way too uptight, and I remember when YouTube came out, it was like a free for all.
But then what's the purpose? Every time I upload a video, it's like, is this for kids or not? And I'm like, no,
Yeah.
not for kids. So, that should be there on the radar, like, not
Yeah.
for kids. Like, if they see it, that's on them. It's not my fault.
Did I ever tell you how we found um my videos?
Maybe, but I don't know. Go ahead. I forgot, if anything.
We were watching YouTube videos. This was like 2006 or so. So it was fairly new, and my
Yeah, that's
friend
that's the
was,
year it started. Yeah.
yeah, and my friend was looking up videos on cartoon intros from like the 80s and 90s. And so he was just watching those, and he'd play the intro, and he'd go on to the next video. And I don't remember what I was doing. I was doing something else in like another room, and he said something about ghetto Power Rangers. And I'm like, what's that? Click on that. And like he literally fell out of an office chair.
Ooh,
Like
shit.
a 400-pound man fell out of an office and was rolling on the ground laughing. Like
Ooh,
we were
shit.
tearing up.
I'm glad he
And
didn't
so,
sue us.
but like you couldn't do that nowadays, because like the way that they do like kids videos, during the kids videos, they're not going to suggest something like ghetto Power Rangers,
No,
you know.
they wouldn't. And that's why I think that's why I assume they ask you, like, is this for kids or not for kids? So
Yeah.
they're in the thing, because let's face it, like, as a parent, you should be monitoring what your kids are watching.
Yeah.
If I was a parent, I wouldn't be so hard on my kids and what they're watching. But I guess it'd be different now, because when I grew up, my parents didn't give a fuck. My father let me watch anything with them.
Me too. Like my mom and my stepdad, as long as I didn't like repeat like cuss words that they said, they didn't give a shit what. And we watched R-rated movies, PG-13, everything.
Mm-hmm.
And then um like that's just unheard of now. And like I have friends from back then too that their parents would never let them watch an R movie.
Yeah, I know some people who were held back from watching R-rated movies. I'll be like, "You watch this?" Like, no, I never got to see it because my parents wouldn't let me. I was like, "What?" And I know friends now who have kids and they're very strict on what they're watching.
Oh
I'm
my
like,
God.
don't fucking torture your kid and just have them watching Veggie Tales or something. Like, come on, like
Baby geniuses.
like let's broaden their horizons. There's a lot of cool shit that these kids can watch. I'm not telling you to go out there and be like, hey, get them to fucking watch this Nightmare on Elm Street right now. No, I'm
Yeah.
just telling you to, like, let them watch, like, hey, I guess I would have been like that. I was like, hey, kid, you want to see something cool? Here's Die Hard, like something like that. But
I remember watching horror movies like did you ever watch USA Up All Night?
USA Up All Night. Do I even know what USA Up All Night is? Let me see that.
It was like
USA.
a program like Friday and Saturday nights, and they would play like horror movies or B movies and stuff like that.
Mm-hmm. On the USA Network. Okay, that makes
Yeah.
sense.
And they played like really raw shit. And my the only thing my parents ever said, like, you might not want to watch that, it'll give you bad dreams. And I was like, oh well, this is funny. And then like I totally have a bad dream.
Totally had a bad dream.
Like the night that I watched Communion for the first time when it aired on TV.
Mm-hmm.
Yeah, I had fucking nightmares. And I to this day I sleep with the door shut.
That's aliens, man. My mom was like, I think I stated this before in like episodes ages ago, that my mom is into aliens and she loved that shit. So that was the thing that haunted me the most, was just freaking alien stuff. And I would have dreams
Yeah.
about alien stuff, and I hated it. Now I'm cool about it. It's like whatever, It's we're shooting down UFOs and whatnot, and I'm just not even. I'm just thinking about, like, you're pissing them off, man. They're just gonna come and start attacking us now. What the fuck
That's
is wrong with
exactly what I said. I'm like, sure, that huge UFO from Independence Day. I'm like, you're gonna make them come down, and it's not gonna end well for us.
I'm pretty sure they've watched all those movies and they probably don't come over here because like they always winning. We're not even gonna try.
Yep.
You know?
Like some nerd at some robotic place, they made a liquid metal robot just like the T-1000 from Terminator 2. I'm like, did y'all watch the movie? Did you
Why?
see how bad that turned out?
Why are we doing this? Why are
And
we fucking doing things?
now we have AI that's teaching itself its own language and like going against human. Like, did y'all not watch like Terminator, The Matrix, iRobot, like any of this shit?
Avengers: Age of Ultron. Have you guys not watched Megan?
Fucking Short Circuit.
You know, shit is real.
I gotta say, Megan was really good. I was
Megan
really
was really good. It was really fun.
she's not better than Chucky, but she's better than the Mark Hamill Chucky.
Yeah.
Yeah.
She was fun. Like, and this is a slight little spoiler, guys. Don't worry about it. It's nothing big. But it's that time when she got really close to the girl and she's talking to her. It's like, don't worry. I'll always be here to listen to you. And then she busted out on a song. And I was just like, yeah, this movie is funny as hell. I'm enjoying this shit. It's so stupid.
When she was like getting the girl to calm down from when she was crying in that little observation room, and then she starts singing that song, I was fucking crying. I was like, how does a horror movie make somebody cry? But it got me.
It got you. And I knew in the beginning, once again, I'm trying not to spoil it. I knew in the beginning when they showed something, I was like, that shit's coming back again later. I already know it. And I wanted
the smile.
No. I can't state what it is because I don't want to spoil it for anybody.
Okay. Good.
But it comes back in the final act, and I'm like, yes, I knew that was gonna happen, and I'm glad that happening. Like right now.
Yeah.
Shit. What the fuck was it? Shit. That's not verses. Sorry, I'm like typing like fast as shit.
How we left out Westworld. Did they not watch Westworld?
Nobody watches anything, and clearly, what is supposed to be the whole basis of this freaking podcast. Clearly, these scientists are not watching anything too, when they're out there, freaking getting unfrozen viruses and bringing them back into our world.
That's so fucking stupid. Like, I can't even think of a movie that's the exact same fucking premise, and it killed like a bunch of people. Movies are there for like, hey, this is a cautionary tale. Don't do this. Like,
Right?
books are like that. Albums with stories to them are like that. Like, don't piss off robots or aliens or unfreeze viruses or unfreeze aliens.
They said that we're supposed to learn from history. And you know what? Movies are still historical too. It's like, hey, remember that movie, The Matrix? Yeah, let's not do that.
Yeah, exactly.
All right? It was cool as shit. I'm down for being jacked into a system, but let's do it in a world where we're not fucking controlled by robots and it's cloudy outside all the time. I like the sun.
Especially if you watch Animatrix and they have the first two stories that are the backstory to the Matrix, like how humans, got really like relied on the robots and they took over all their jobs and then
They
wanted to get rid of them and then they fucking fought back.
Yes. And you know why? That's going to happen because people are racist already. So they're going to be racist against robots. You know what? I wouldn't mind having a dope ass robot friend here and shit who got my back. I'm going to try to raise them better, not go out there and kill people and shit,
Ain't kids' ears off.
Yeah, but I want robots like people have robot buddies in Star Wars, like I want
a droid.
Yeah, a droid that's cool with me, got my back, can speak different languages for me and shit, pick up stuff.
What was the droid from the prequel movie? the Andor.
Oh, K2SO.
Yes, I want that one.
Yeah, he was.
He did shit. He talked shit. He fucking saved the day. I fucking love it.
Wait, was it that one or was that from Solo?
No, I thought it was like K2 or something.
Yeah, I remember K2SO, but I don't know if that was in Rogue One or Solo.
I thought it was Rogue One.
I'm checking right now. Let's see the cast here. Yeah. Because it's Rogue One. Because in Solo, it was a female robot, and it was basically like they made it seem like Lando and her had like a thing.
Oh, that's awkward.
Ooh, well, sometimes you gotta get Lando would be fucking some robots. Let's think about it. Let's be realistic.
Yeah.
He'd be like, oh, what kind of parts you got?
Especially if they were like replicants from Blade Runner and they have like, pleasure models. Yeah, people are fucking those.
Why were they mad at that? Like, why were people in Blade Runner going crazy over replicants? They looked good as hell. Yeah. I'm talking about the females, of course, Homeboy could have had a better look, but, Rutger Hauer is the shit, though.
Yeah, he is.
But, yeah, I don't know. Like, I just feel like it would really be a big backlash. It's true. Humans are like that. They'll have a big backlash against them. Like, they can't be one of us. They're not real, and they took our germs and shit like that.
Took the dirt.
Yeah, I would have. Like I said, I will have him. I'll make him my best friend. I'll be playing video games with him. I'll dress him up dope as fuck, like me and shit. And then try to make him look like me. So I'll be like, "Hey, man, go to work for me today."
Wow.
And then next thing you know, he's gonna want to take my life and probably kill me and then replace me. And that's a replicant, and that's the beginning of the takeover.
See, I've seen too many movies and TV shows and read books where it's not a good idea, and like I'm not comfortable with it. Like I get mad when the Google Voice thing doesn't shut up.
I get mad when she doesn't do what I say.
That too.
Like I'm like, turn on the whatever, and she's like, I did not hear computers. Like, bitch, I said.
But they made that. I don't know if you read this. In Texas, somewhere in Texas, they built a fully operational McDonald's run by robots.
No,
there's like no people that work there.
No, I did not hear this at all.
It's fucking crazy, and I don't know. It's like, yeah, they are taking people's jobs, but like.
Oh, they come like they come to you as waiters and bring you food?
No, it's all like automated. Like you order and then the robots make it and stuff, and then like.
And then they bring. Well, okay, I see something here. It's like the take. Ooh, look! It just brings it to your window.
Yeah.
And you're good. Then you have the kiosk inside, of course. Most restaurants today have kiosks, which is fantastic because I don't want no human interaction. It's just, is that crazy? Like we're in a world where we just don't want human interaction now.
I don't like going through drive-thrus because I don't like talking. I wish like it's so nice to use like DoorDash and stuff because you put in everything you want and you don't want, and they come to your house and they know the code to get in, and all they say is like, have a good night. And you're like, you too. And that's it. Like, it's so great to not have to talk.
The world with just no human interaction.
No.
But I feel you, though, too. It's the same thing. Like, I don't want human interaction. If I go anywhere and they ask, like, do you need any help? I'm like, no. Or if the drive-thru is always, like, an awkward kind of thing, But
yeah.
I do all right. I definitely don't like to, like, order. So I'll do either pick up when I just already got that ready and I go and get it, or the kiosk. The kiosk is fantastic. We just went to like, do you guys have like Steak and Shakes over there? No. Well, we just went to a Steak and Shake that we couldn't go to for a long period of time because of the pandemic. They wouldn't let people like dine in. But before the pandemic, when you dined in, it had like this old kind of theme, and they'll come up to you and ask you for your order to bring it to you, blah blah, whatever. It has like the old 1950s kind of theme, kind of shit going on back then. It was all
Yeah.
the theme of that shit is they're all about shakes, so it looks like that kind of restaurant back then.
Oh, that's cool.
Uh, so we went over the weekend finally, and now they don't take your order. They just have kiosks, and you just fucking
Wow.
handle that there, and then sit your ass down, and then they'll call like number one whatever or whatever, or order for whatever, and you come and pick up your order. That's it. Bless you.
I've been to some like sit down restaurants, like a Chili's or Applebee's or something like that, and it was they had that little touchpad on the table,
Yeah,
and
yeah,
you
yeah.
did
Like Red Robin has that shit.
yeah, and they had you do everything from there. Like all the waiter did was bring your food and drinks out to you.
That's crazy because at Red Robin they still have that machine, but it's usually used. Damn, that was hard for me to say. It's used for like payment at the end, or if you want something extra when you didn't
Yeah.
order it the first time. But they still come up to you and they'll be like, "Okay, can we start you off with drinks? Do you want anything?" And if you get a real good waiter, then you're fucking dope. Like last time we had a real good one. This guy kept showing up. He was like, "You guys good? Bam, you want a refill?" Blah blah. We
Oh,
were like,
I
"All
love
right,
that.
yeah." Like Rocio loved that shit, so she tipped them very well.
And that's
So
when you tip.
yeah, that's when you tip. Well, if you're like doing, especially if you're there and you acting like you don't want to be there, like motherfucker.
Oh, you're not getting shit from
I know,
me.
like I'm sorry, you don't want to be here, but you're here, and unfortunately we have to communicate. Let's get the party started. Like
I
tend to
always
my
judge it
needs.
by like I don't want to see the bottom of my cup. So like I need like constant refills. Like don't even ask, just bring it.
That's the best ones. When they don't ask, they just like they got you right there.
Especially with coffee, like if you go to like Denny's or IHOP or something and you're like right at the bottom and they come refill it, you're like, fuck yeah.
Your tip keeps increasing the more you refill my cup. Be on it, Sonic. We were gonna go into the zombie virus and then we went off track. Let me try to get us back in there, guys. All right, so this is what the whole point of this shit going on here, because the information was given out today. I hit up her and I was like, yo, this is kind of fitting, like it's like it's just continuing the conversation and whatnot.
Yeah.
There's an article on CNN. It says scientists have revived a zombie virus that spent 48,500 years frozen in permafrost. Reading the article, let me read a bit of it, okay?
Okay.
Oh shit! Wait, hold on. Right, I'm not doing what I usually do, and that's show you the fucking screen. Let me go to that. Bam! There's the article right here, ladies and gentlemen, right there. All right, so you see it right here. You see it right there. All right, for those watching, if you're listening, that's fine. I'm gonna read it to you. But for those watching, here it is, right here. It says, warmer temperatures in the Arctic are thawing the region's permafrost, a frozen layer of soil beneath the ground, and potentially stirring viruses that, after lying dormant for tens of thousands of years, could endanger animal and human health. Let's keep that in mind, right? They just said it right there. Off the jump.
I can tell you this, that there was recordings of the plague within the past couple years here in New Mexico. I think because of that same thing, because it was like frozen in the permafrost and thawed out, and then people were getting the Black Plague near Santa Fe.
What the fuck?
Yeah.
It's all the past is coming back. The past is coming back. Son of a bitch. While a pandemic unleashed by a disease from the distant past sounds like the plot of a sci-fi movie, yes, scientists warn that the risks, though low, are underappreciated. Chemical and radioactive waste that dates back to the Cold War, which has the potential to harm wildlife and disrupt ecosystems, may also be released during thaws. And, it keeps going on and on. It basically stating... Okay, so the title here says zombie. Notice the quotation on the zombie virus.
Yeah.
Right? So off the bat, and a coworker also told me this, like, hey, you heard that they like unthawed an old 48,000-year-old zombie virus. I'm like, yo, I know, I saw this, blah, blah. Then after reading this article, they're stating that it's quote unquote a zombie virus because they're only calling it that because it's an old virus that they revived again. Not
Yeah,
that
it like came back from the dead.
yeah, not that it causes a zombie, thing. But with that still being said, you're bringing back an old virus, still a bad word,
Yeah.
bringing it back to our times. And what's to say what the virus would do? It could kill us. It could possibly turn us to zombies, or it could do much worse because we're at a different time now than then.
Yeah.
You know, like how much do we really know what killed the dinosaurs? We assume a comet came, fucked up the ecosystem, and they all died. But what if there was something else? What if the comet came, brought a virus, and it really killed everybody?
Shit.
You know, like let's think about this.
Yeah, and that would have to be something that they would look into to see if the virus could jump species like that. Because if it was like a virus from a long time ago that only killed like a certain species or something like that, then that is usually has a lower, kill rate. But if it's something that can mutate and switch species, like go into humans, then yeah, we're gonna get like another COVID or something worse.
That's why the scientist here says that whatever they uncover, they make sure that there's nothing that'll harm like animals and mammals and such and such and such. But like you said, evolution, right? What if it doesn't?
Yeah.
But then all of a sudden it does.
Look at that little thing, that little alien Calvin from that movie Life.
Mm-hmm.
That was just like a little bitty cell that they got from Mars, and it grew and grew. And I won't give away the movie, but
yeah,
viruses can do that too. They can grow and spread and mutate, and they're very dangerous.
It's also the concept in The Last of Us, which I'm finally starting to watch episodes.
Yeah.
And remember, it's in the video game it was always a fungus, and a fungus that evolved that got to affect humans. The first thing you see in that series from the first episode is actually a conversation like it's like a 60s or 70s TV show. It looks 60s. TV shows. There's a conversation with like two scientists and the dude that hosts the show, and they're talking about that kind of stuff, like zombies and viruses and blah blah blah. And this guy he brings up like, oh, there's this fungus that actually affect these insects and blah blah blah. Mm-hmm. It's like, but something like that would never get attached to humans or affect us. And it's like, no, on the contrary. And then he brings up this whole thing about like how it is possible that it could, because there's signs of this and that and the evolution and blah blah blah. So it kind of like stating like, okay, there's this thing and it evolved that it potentially got to where it is now, where they're affecting humans in the world. You know what I'm saying?
Yeah.
So kind of bringing up to your point about the evolution and whatnot. If it's frozen, leave it frozen, I say. But that's not our fault, though.
No.
Well, it is our fault.
Wait a minute. Yeah, it is.
Hold on a minute.
And that word is losing its meaning, too. Like, if you remember back in, like, elementary school and stuff like that, when they talked about permafrost, they used it as it's permanent. It's never going to thaw. And then when, like, 10, 15 years ago or more, like permafrost started melting and they were finding like new species of plants and stuff like that. I was like, that's not good. Permafrost isn't supposed to melt.
No. What if it like uncovers like a fucking alien that was just frozen like thousands of years ago? Like, alien ship.
Like
Transformers. Like the thing.
Yes.
Oh no, not the thing. No. I'm going for like cool fucking robots in disguise. I don't want something that'll make me go like, is my friend's fucking alien or not?
If they find Megatron, I'll be so happy.
You want Megatron?
I just want to see him. I don't care if he doesn't like humans.
He's like, destroy all human. You're gonna be right there like, that's right, daddy. Let's fuck them up. Let's fuck all these motherfuckers up. I never liked them. I hate human interactions.
I do.
Unless for me, let's get all you Transformers to handle all my shit. That's what I say.
I want to pretend to be deaf and mute and just learn sign language so I don't have to talk to people.
Well, then learn sign language. It just be like that, but then they're gonna piss you off. You're like, the fuck you said? Oh shit. It's a miracle. I can't speak.
There it is.
Oh man, it's a miracle that we're still here making these podcasts, ladies and gentlemen. Yes. Thank you very much for this week. If you want anything Machine Room, people, you take your asses to machineroompodcast.com, and of course follow us on Twitter at Real Machine Room. You heard me?
Yes.
It's that fucking simple. Twitter
and
Real Machine Room.
And YouTube officially is Real Machine Room.
That's right. So if you missed this live presentation, you're always free to watch it on YouTube. And please leave comments. We'll love to hear what you have to say. Just don't call us the N-words with the hard R, please.
No, please don't.
Please don't. So with that being said, thank you, Danny, for being here in the chat. We want to see more of y'all in the chat rooms. She's your real host, Rachel, a.k.a. Hammer Venus. And I'm just the Ed McMahon of this show, Nostradamus. This is the Machine Room Podcast. You ain't got to go home, but you got to get the fuck out of here. One day we'll find a better closing. Until then, hasta la vista, baby. And don't let the big bugs bite.
Konnichiwa. I made this.
I'm just saying, if something's permafrost, let it be the fucking power coins from like the 2017 Power Ranger movie.
Yes.
You know? And then we find that shit. And yo, I'm happy. I'll fight Rita Repulsa for the rest of my life. I'll deal with it. All right? I will be living the fucking dream. Just saying. Scientists, find the fucking power coins or the Zeo crystals or something. Let's make this shit happen.
I want to be a Power Ranger.
Yes.